Hello and welcome to the United... No, it's not the United Stand. I've messed up again. It's not the United Stand. It's That's Football. That's Football for the Arsenal versus Milan. Watchalong. A little bit later than I thought it was going to be, but a few things to sort out before we're live. So let's get going for it. Hope everyone's doing well. How are we doing? I'm going to give you the team news in a minute as well. A good couple of hundred people watching, which is great to see already when we've only just started. I've got a few things to sort out. Obviously I haven't got the scores or anything like that. Just looking at the AC Milan side, Calhanoglu, Bonucci, Rodriguez, Kessie, Donnarumma, Suso, Montalivo, Suso, Cutrone and Silva up front. Keep out for Kessie, an eye out for Kessie. Wants to come and play for Manchester United. Bonucci obviously very experienced. Donnarumma in goals. It's a game I've been looking forward to. Couldn't watch the 6 o'clock one last night, and those two players are quite interesting because they could well be players that Manchester United look at next season if De Gea was to leave Manchester United. So interesting. I did very nearly do Dortmund Salzburg, but I like Italian football, as many people will know who follow this channel. That's Football. If you are new, make sure you subscribe. But I do like it. I do like a bit of the old Italian football. I've got to be honest with you there. So thanks for the haircut, love, as well. Thank you. So Gattuso, I'm going to put my hands up here and say I want Milan to win. I think it's going to be very difficult for them, but I would love them to win. And yeah, I prefer AC Milan to Arsenal, but it's kicked off. I'd like to see Donnarumma get tested. Not really seen him as much as I would have liked to have seen him this season. The same goes for Kessie. Let's see what happens with it. AC Milan has been my second team since I was a small. I nearly called him a gay boy. Since I was a small boy. What a team we had in the mid-noughties, says the Red Devil Gaming channel. And Mark is a meme on FT, says Jackson T. I don't even know what that is. I want a lot of goals, says Jared Pessman. And AC Milan might have a goal here. Oh, it's side netting. Pulled back there. And they should have been one up. They should have been one up in the first 50 seconds. Nice little bit of play down the right-hand side from AC Milan. Cuts it across. Nobody's marking him. Shot on goal from their side netting. He's got to do better than that. He has got to do better than that. It's going to be a bit of a Q&A show as well, because I'm not an Arsenal fan, and this is That's Football, so I know a lot of people probably will support each club, won't really support each club, but will be watching it, so get involved. Arsenal winning the Europa League may keep Arsenal his job. Do we want Arsenal to win the Europa or not, says Sander. Interesting question. I don't want them to win sod all, if I'm honest. There we go. Andre Silva has been awful all season, says Jacob. He has, and he wasn't much better there. Cost a lot of money. It nearly hits the side of the post, but the reality is he's got to go across the goal, not near post there. I still think Atletico are the favourites for the Europa, says Andrew K. Yep, we probably will do a few watch-alongs. They'll exclusively be on That's Football now, being as Manchester United are out. I'm thinking about doing a Champions League draw live at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, actually, on That's Football. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. But, yes, exclusively European football on That's Football now. Nothing on the United Stand. Ridiculous, isn't it? But it's quite a good game, this. Quite open already, which is good to see. Neither team very good defensively, which should make for a good game. Do you think City can actually be stopped this season, says Jack Steels? I'm concerned that City are going to win the Champions League, but there's nothing we can feel good about, is there? I reckon Atletico will win the Europa, said Sainith. And is there any United Stand today, says Faizan? No, I did it at 1 o'clock today. 1 o'clock today, mate. So yeah, that's what's happening with that. Back with 2 shows on the United Stand tomorrow. Got the preview at 1 o'clock and then the 8 o'clock show as normal. Amstel. Love it. Love it. Love it. Lights going there. So we are 3 minutes in, and I'm just having a quick look. I can't remember. People are saying if you got the timer. I can't remember if I've sorted the no. I didn't sort a studio for this, I'm afraid. So I'll just have to let you know what scales are and all that jazz. No, I can't do a scoreboard, Akash. Sorry, we're live. Jose was a great manager, said Bishop Crushing. It's my own fault. I should have been far better organised, but I was just like, it's Arsenal. I'm not that bothered. And I was meant to do Barcelona versus Chelsea last night, and Xander was meant to do tonight. But Xander said, oh, I've got a family commitment. Can we swap? Of course, he gets Barcelona-Chelsea. I end up with Arsenal, AC Milan. But you never know. I would have watched it anyway. I want AC Milan to win. So I am not going to lie about that. It is what it is. But Arsenal are on the attack at the moment. And they've just headed over from a corner. I will settle down in a minute. I'm just sorting out a few things. Sandeep sounds interesting, says George Kyle. Fresh trim mark. Sanders still winning though, says Ed Woodward. Who will Mark, if it's Liverpool versus Man City in the Champions League, who will you support? I just won't watch. That scenario is the hardest question. I'm probably going to nick it and put it on Twitter or something later. That is one of the hardest questions I think there is. I really do. I do not know. I would have to say, I'd have to say Man City, because Liverpool would have won it 6 times then, and I dislike Liverpool more than Man City. But really, that would be very, very hard to swallow. What would you? I'd go Liverpool being forced, and you'd have to force me. I'd be like, is there any way we can get the game cancelled or something? But I'd go Liverpool. If it was Liverpool or Man City in a Champions League final, I would be physically throwing up for weeks. But I'd have to go with Liverpool, I'm afraid. Oh, it's chaotic. You know. Never believe it's not Scholes. It's chaotic. Not a lot happening at the moment. Here's one for the Boffins. I'm going to throw you a lot of questions today because the thing I like about some of the sort of games is that you can we're a little bit more relaxed than we are when we're watching our own clubs. I was going to ask you why on the continent do you think they put X in the score? So in this country we say Arsenal versus AC Milan or Arsenal v AC Milan, and I see it a lot on the continent. Arsenal X Milan. They don't have the V or the versus, they have X. Salim is saying it's an open game. He's right. He's not wrong. Andrew Kidd's an Arsenal fan. Hello, I'm a subscriber now, says Chloe Bell. Yes, if you are new, please do subscribe and let us know. That's be nice. We are closing in on 25,000 subscribers, which is nice for this channel. Got lots and lots of things planned. Been a bit of a busy week, but we have put a lot of content. We've had a show every day, which is good. And we are going to do the Champions League draw live tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I don't know why I'm putting myself through that as a Manchester United fan, but this is not a Manchester United fan channel. It is a general football channel. And I must serve it. I'm glad that Transformers made that comment. It will be his last. What do you think is wrong with Sanchez not playing well at the moment? Well, I suppose that's an Arsenal relevant question. Arsenal on the attack here. Andrew White. I just think it's down to Jose Mourinho's tactics, really. I don't think it's exclusive to Alexis Sanchez. You look at people like Rashford when he gets moved to the right wing. You look at Pogba. You look at Martial being moved to the right wing. I think Alexis Sanchez is just being misused at Manchester United, if I'm totally honest with you. And hopefully Mourinho will now see that that's the wrong thing to do. Please do share the video, folks. Please share, and yeah, on Twitter or whatever, there's a share button underneath. Let's see if we can try. We've had up to 1,000 people watching our watch-alongs before, so it'd be nice to get up to around that. Fellaini wants to leave Manchester United because he's tired of being blamed for Jose's mistakes, as Carlos Hernandez. Oh, tell me that's breaking news. Please tell me that's breaking news. Yabba dabba do if it's true, but I bet it's not. No, he's not. It's not breaking news. It's not true. Just reading a quote here. Cut it down. Got it down. JP Styles says 1,000 people watching Europa League ties is out of range. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. The strongest league in the world, says Ryan Henderson. There's a substitution, an early substitution for Arsenal here. Koscielny's coming off, and it looks like Chambers is coming on. Captaincy goes to Wilshere instead of Koscielny, and I think Arsenal fans will be a bit worried about that because he's obviously one of their better players. I tell you what I did think though, if we have any Arsenal fans here or anybody just wants to comment on this, I get on with Arsenal Fan TV quite well, Robbie, and obviously had DT on the other week, but I did think about the difference between Arsenal and other clubs. I'm not even going to say my club, Manchester United, although it will be used in the example. Manchester United lost on Tuesday night in the Champions League and got knocked out. The reactions I saw on the fan cams were pretty much... People were annoyed, but it was nothing like, oh, I'm going to bloody kill myself. Oh, it's terrible. This is a bloody disgrace. Oh. Now, if that had been Arsenal and you had watched Arsenal Fan TV, it would have been that, oh, get them around. Oh, I can't believe we've been knocked out by Sevilla in the Champions League. Oh, my God, mate, what's going on? No, you didn't get that from any United fan. Now, United have actually won European Cups and should be getting to the latter stages of it. Arsenal have never bloody won it, and I think this is the problem Arsenal have, is that their fans think they are so much better than they are, or they just are deluded, which is pretty much the same thing. But it really did strike home to me. I like Rodriguez for AC Milan as well, actually. He was another player that United was sort of linked to as a left back. They spent a lot of money last summer, AC Milan. But yeah, I just thought if that was Arsenal fans on Tuesday night, their reaction to going out to Sevilla would have been 10 times worse than you got from United fans. Even though United fans were gutted, there's just a different sort of reaction, isn't there? And you're just used to it after the past 5 years, honestly, says Sly Ninja Gaming. Say honestly. Anyone here watching March Madness, says Jordan Thompson. And Mark just did an impression of Marge. God, it was that bad. Reports today that Manchester United are monitoring Bellerin's situation at Arsenal and the club value Martial at 70 million. Juventus interested, said Jamie. That would be a double kick in the nuts. I don't want Bellerin, and obviously I don't want Martial to go. Still 0-0 in the game. Still 0-0. Who's your favourite Arsenal player, says Chloe Ball. It's a hard question. It would have been Alexis Sanchez, but we took him, to be honest. Probably Koscielny. I sort of think of which player I would take from Arsenal, and if I was taking anybody, it would be Koscielny, because because I wouldn't. I even in the summer I thought I would like to take Ozil, but I think looking at what he's been like in the summer, it's no, not for me. Not you know, he just misses games too much, doesn't he, Mesut Ozil? And goes missing in games. He's not got not a bad injury record, but yeah, not for me. Oh, don't do this to me. I thought I'd lost you all then. Why's that suddenly stopped bloody working? It's annoying. Is it that one? No. I don't know. Arsenal with all the possession anyway. 62% for the stats out there. I did say this when we did the Spurs-Juventus game, though, didn't I? That we are in a situation where you've got Manchester United, Juventus and Spurs. What's the better league, Serie A or the Premier League? And somebody was talking about that a moment ago. What is the strongest league in the world at the moment? And you'd have to say, especially because of what Sevilla did to AC Milan, you'd have to say La Liga is. But good little break here. You just wonder actually if this substitution of Koscielny, which has been enforced on Arsenal through injury, could give AC Milan a little bit of an impetus boost, which would make it very interesting, I believe. Very, very interesting. So we shall see. But yeah, Juventus beat Spurs. AC Milan, Arsenal. Looking like Arsenal. Well, Arsenal are in the box seat at the moment. Whoever comes out on top there, you know, it was only a couple of weeks ago, before that second leg of the AC of the Spurs Juventus game and the United Sevilla game, everyone was saying English football's back. You know, English football's back. It's the strongest league in the world again. I mean, hopefully, I have to say hopefully now, because I don't want Liverpool or City to win the league. If they get knocked out before the semi-final, then it'll be English Premier League sit down again, won't it? So I sort of hope that does happen, because I do not want either of them two to win it. I wouldn't have minded if it wasn't going to be United. I could have stomached Spurs winning it, but not Liverpool or City. But if they do get knocked out again, who knows? Who knows? Right, I'm coming back to you now. I've been messing around sorting some stuff out. I should have sorted out before I went live. And here I am. Prajit says Mark's new haircut looks good. It was well overdue a cut. It's exactly the same style. Got a shaved line in my head now though. I've never had that. I always have the parting, but they actually said to me, do you want me to shave a line in it? And I said, what? Oh, I never heard of that. And they said, no. A lot of people these days, they have the parting shaved. So that bit of my head there is bald because they shave the line in it. So you always know where your parting is. Which is a godsend when it gets a little bit longer, because in the morning you're like combing it down, looking to do it yourself. So it works. What do you think? Did Ashley Young's been selected for the England squad? I'm glad Chris Mindle mentioned that. I've been around this planet for coming up for 4 decades now. I've never seen an England squad as crap as that one. You know what? The English government are in real big problems with the Russian government at the moment, and some people are saying we shouldn't go to Russia for the World Cup. I'm hoping we don't, because we're going to get embarrassed, absolutely embarrassed. I mean, I never thought I'd say these words, even though I don't mind Chris Smalling at United. His form over the last month has been very, very good. He's not even in an England squad. That just shows you how bad England are, that they don't even select people like Chris Smalling. He's an idiot, Gareth Southgate, and his football's crap, and England are going to get absolutely embarrassed. And I think England have been to World Cups in the past where they've had bad managers but a decent set of players and they just don't use them right. It's different this time. Oh, go on! No, he's offside. It's a bad England squad, and it's a bad England manager. So it's going. Dean Kazabov's going for a haircut tomorrow. I don't know if you get them where you go, but I go to something called Everyman Hairdressers, which is like, yeah, it's been long overdue. I don't know whether they've got any women watching in the live comments, but this has been long overdue for men, because I know, like I say, I've been on the planet for a while, and always haircuts were always down at barbers. You know, price has gone up over the years, but you know, around a tenner these days, buzz cut and stuff on top. But these Everyman cinemas, which are like, I suppose it's like the advent of over the last few years, what we've seen with men. And you know, I don't have the skin creams and that, some people do, I don't knock it, but you know, all the beard trimming and everything, men have become more, you know, like women used to be, isn't it, with all your women are, sorry, with their makeup and all their products. So I quite like these Everyman cinemas, and I like the Everyman cinema, Everyman barbers, where you know, they take doing your hair seriously, and you can have it washed before, and you know, it's good. Apparently Southgate is considering either Callum Wilson, says Mark Bolton. And I shaved my head, so I haven't had a haircut in 17 years, says Alex Rudd. How long's the United stand been on the go, says Andrew White. God, even I'm not sure now. I think it'll be 4 years at Christmas, United stand, yeah. City have not played with big clubs like Real Madrid or Barcelona. They're still not a great club. I think that's the question mark about Man City, isn't it? How are they going to do in the next round? I think Man City will get Sevilla and absolutely batter them. Arsenal are going up a gear now. 20 minutes in, and Arsenal have started to dominate this game a bit. AC Milan probably had the better chances though. Yeah, Edward was right. It's about 3.5 years. Spot on. Mark should get a Fellaini haircut. Yeah, Chris is right as well. You've got Barcelona, Germany and Brazil. They could probably make... Their fourth team's probably better than our first team. Donnarumma's not really been tested yet. Welbeck. He ain't going to test him. I used to really like Danny Welbeck at United, and he wasn't that talented, but since he's gone to Arsenal, he really irritates me. Welbeck does, and I heard a story about him as well. Somebody said they asked him for his interview, asked him for an autograph, and he was an absolute prick about it. But whether that's true or not is probably unfair. But you know, that would be a reason for me to dislike him. I can't stand arrogant people, but. There's just something about him at Arsenal that really irritates me. And it's not his fault we sold him. Pragji, I would like to see Man City get AC Milan. Sorry, not AC Milan. That would be impossible. I would like to see Man City get Barcelona or Real Madrid, because I think those are the two teams that could knock them out, or Bayern Munich. I think the worst case scenario for United point of view is that Bayern Munich get Juventus or Barcelona or Real Madrid, and vice versa, and that Liverpool get Roma and Man City get Sevilla. If Man City are going to win it, I want them to get like Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, so that they've got to really work for it, if that makes sense. But I do feel a little bit of a small club mentality saying that, because you know, we were in that tournament, Manchester United, and we're now relying on others to stop Man City winning something. It's small club mentality. It's what, to be fair, it's what Man City and Liverpool have been wishing for with United for the last 30 years, because they've not been good enough to stop us, so they hope for other teams to do it. I hate that as a United fan, that we have to rely on other people to do it. We should do it ourselves. Phasing, it's 0-0 at the moment, and we're 22 minutes in. A couple of decent chances for Milan, but Arsenal are controlling. Gattuso, so funny to watch on the side. Really, really passionate. Gilday Gaming says, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Bayern. I have a feeling they'll win the Champions League this year. You know what, Gilday? I think what it is, I've said it before on this channel when we were doing a watch-along for the Juventus game. I said I'm looking forward to the quarterfinals to watch Bayern Munich, because I haven't watched them much at all. I do watch a lot of European football, but when I haven't seen a lot of the team, I'll admit it. And Bayern Munich, I've got to put my hands up and say I haven't watched much of them, because the way the Champions League groups worked, obviously I watched my club United, and I really did focus on that, was it the Spurs, Dortmund and Real Madrid group. And then I'm not going to watch German football because it's worse than Scottish football. It's so bloody dominated pub league by Bayern Munich. I haven't watched much of Bayern Munich this year, so I'm looking forward to watching them in the quarterfinals. I don't know how they work in the quarterfinals, because do they play 2 on the same night, or do they swap it around? So you've got to choose, I suppose. But we'll be doing watch-alongs for all the Champions League games that we can do on here, on That's Football, and we'll probably do it for the decent Europa League games. To be fair, I've got nothing against it if it's good opposition. Would you take Bayern as as this year's Champions League favourites? Says Pramud. I said Real Madrid since I said last August Real Madrid. Even when Real Madrid were doing bad up till Christmas, I still said Real Madrid, and I'm still saying Real Madrid now. And the reason I've said that is because Real Madrid are they've got the best midfield 3. I think they've got the best defence, and they've got Ronaldo up front. Kessie there, brilliant play by Kessie. I'd like to see Kessie at United. Formerly of Atalanta, he's on a 2-year loan at AC Milan, but he always speaks positively about United. I tell you what, this game needs AC Milan to score, because if Arsenal score, then that puts the game to bed, really. But AC Milan have been quite good. Good save, Donnarumma, Welbeck straight at him on the break. But it's end-to-end stuff. It's a cracking game. It's a good game. Yeah, there is great support, fan support in Germany, Kevin O'Callaghan. There is. It's just a shame that their league is so bad, because the way they run their clubs and their support is great. But what Bayern Munich do is, it would be like Manchester United every single season. Whenever there's a good player at Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, they just go to Manchester United. That's what Bayern Munich do, because Dortmund pushed them close for a few years, but they were still taking their best players: Lewandowski, Götze, Hummels. They just take the best players from all the clubs, like Goretzka's going there from Schalke, and that's the bad thing about the Bundesliga. Craig Ravensdale, I'm going to be really ignorant in here and say I've got no idea what West Ham fans are actually protesting about. Is it about the owners and Moyes? I know there was a bit of trouble at the weekend, but West Ham for me, I hope we haven't got any West Ham fans on the show tonight, but West Ham fans for me, all my life, they've been deluded. All my life, West Ham have been crap. They've never been good in 30 odd years. I've never known West Ham be good, but their fans are so deluded. Arsenal fans, I understand it. Arsenal have always been a big club, and throughout my life, they've been successful a number of times. George Graham and Wenger, but they've always been a top 4 club in England. Liverpool, I remember them. It was a long time ago in a far off galaxy. Liverpool were successful, but they've always had big support and a big history. Man City and Chelsea obviously bought it, but West Ham, I just don't get it. I don't get West Ham fans and this delusion of grandeur. I mean, obviously, I know that people like Jeff Hurst play for them, and they were in, but that was in '66. It's as bad as England fans. They are like England fans, West Ham, I suppose, aren't they? They've got this unrealistic thought that they should be a decent team. Yeah, I don't get it with West Ham fans. Mark's on a rant, says Salford Reds MUFC. That's what was all about. I like the little debates, and this is what we want to do with a lot of them. Definitely for the World Cup, we're going to do a few watch-alongs on the World Cup, and obviously we try and do at least 1 or 2 watch-alongs a week, and then have regular content here for you. But when it's a game like tonight, good one to watch, good one to keep an eye out. But it's just all the banter in the chat while the game's on as well, which is good. And remember, if you are new, subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner. Be nice to get up to 24,300 tonight. Should we set that target? The target says I set low on That's Football because it's the new channel, but please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and please share it, and let's grow another fan community. The great thing about That's Football is, well, I hope it's going to be great, is we're trying to build something that's more generic. So I think it was a little bit too early for us, but we did do a show on Monday about the Jamie Carragher thing, and I was desperate to go live and just have a call in, but I just don't think we're ready for that yet. But we are building towards that, and I certainly want to have that in place by next season. The call in, I think it's a really good idea. But yeah, we're going to do England watch along, Salim. Yeah, so that'll be 3 shows. The 3 group games. Adam McGarry's just subscribed. Thanks, Adam. Are we going to do England friendlies watch along, says Will Bitloin. Let's have a look at when they are, and I can give you a straight answer now because I have got some things on next week. But let's see if they clash. God, there's a lot of friendlies. I don't even know England are playing. Well, it must be on a Friday. We're playing on a Friday? Yeah. Holland, England. Oh, it's a terrible, terrible one, isn't it? It really is. That is terrible. Terrible. England, Italy, and England, England, Holland. I bet when they set them, they didn't expect to be playing two teams that aren't even going to be in the World Cup. That's a banana skin then. But I think we probably will. I think we will do those. Why not? Why not? Why not? Sander Sager says, I did an England friendly once, never again. Remind me, Sandra. I can't remember. Sander. Remind me what why it was bad. I presume because it puts you to sleep. But the whole thing is, if it's a boring game, you just have a big old chat, don't you? Friendlies are a bore fest, says Alex Rudd. The thing is, I don't normally watch England unless it's the World Cup or the Euros, so watching a friendly is difficult. The Spookster says, who's dominating? Yes, there is a game. I'd say Arsenal are shading this at the moment. Yeah, I'd say Arsenal are shading it at the moment. Although I think AC Milan have had the best chances. We could do with a goal for AC Milan. It would just really terrify the Gunners. But AC Milan, I think AC Milan are an example of when it can go one of two ways, where you have a load of money, and a load of money doesn't always guarantee you success. I mean, everyone thinks of Blackburn, Chelsea, Man City, and oh yeah, they bought the title like they have done over the years. But there are clubs where it's not worked. And one that springs to my mind is what was the Spanish club? Was it Malaga? Was it Malaga who did it? They spent a load of money. I think Ruud van Nistelrooy went there as well. They spent a load of money, went bankrupt. And we've had a contribution. I better read that out. And QPR did it in the Premier League. That definitely didn't work. So it doesn't always work. And I think AC Milan probably had the wrong person in charge. I think Gattuso will do well, but they spent a lot of money last summer, and everyone was like, "Well, Bonucci went there from Juventus," and everyone was like, "Oh, they're going to run away with the league. They bought some really good players." And I got to be honest, I was quite jealous. I was quite jealous of what AC Milan did, especially in relation to people like Kessie. But it's just not worked out. It's not worked out at all. Biosphere says, I think we might get rid of Mourinho by the summer, Mark. Can't see the board let this go. Mourinho has no future at United. From what I know, there's absolutely no chance that the Manchester United, the club, will get rid of Mourinho in the summer. The only chance of him going is if he decides he wants to go. Alex Hunter, England are crap at rugby. We were good at rugby. Which is another thing. I was going to watch England Italy, I think England Ireland in the rugby at the weekend, but Ireland have already won it, so there's absolutely no point in watching that. Come on, AC Milan, get a goal. I've forgotten who's in England's group for the World Cup. Have we got Belgium then? I've forgotten. What's the wet lettuce thing? Nothing to do with me. It wasn't my show that happened on. I think it was Xander's. So I think Xander's in the live comments. So let him know. Still 0-0 in this game. 33 minutes gone. And It's been quite an open game, quite an equal open game as well. It could do with a goal from AC Milan, just from a neutral's point of view. I'm not even a neutral. I just want AC Milan to win. Gary Wells, yeah, the rugby thing's weird. I don't want to dwell on rugby too much because I know a lot of people won't like it. But Eddie Jones was doing a really good job working towards the World Cup, and then they've just gone terrible. I mean, absolutely terrible. English sports like this, though. It happens in the cricket. It happens in the rugby. We're really bad at having sustained success. I don't even talk about the football because the football's FUCKED. But rugby and cricket, especially, we do have periods of being the best in the world, but we can never sustain it. You look at people like Australia, certainly in rugby and cricket, and they are very, very consistent. Yeah, they have a bad few results, but you need to change. Look behind you there, Kessie. That's not going anywhere. Out for a goal kick. Atletico are favourites to win the Europa League, says Chrisia Prince. Well, let's have a look at some of the other results and scores in the Europa League at the moment. So Marseille are going to go through. They're going to knock out Atletico Bilbao, who I think, if I was Arsenal, I'd rather play Marseille than Bilbao, because I think English clubs do struggle with La Liga clubs. As we saw with United, Lazio are going through, or are through. They're 3-4-2, so Milankovic-Savic in the next round. I hope Lazio do well, to be fair. Atletico Madrid won 8-1 on aggregate. Sporting are out to Victoria Pleasant. Zenit went out to RP Leipzig, who are a decent team. And then you've got Arsenal, AC Milan, Salzburg and Dortmund, who are 0-0 as well. And you've got Lyon. And there's a goal for AC Milan. I was too busy looking at the thing. AC Milan have scored, everybody. 1-0. This is exactly what we wanted to happen. Go on. Have it. From a neutral's point of view, it's brilliant. If you want Arsenal to lose, it's brilliant. And I like me Italian football. And it's a good shot as well. Who is that? Is it Kaliniglu or whatever his name is? It is. He's got a Kalinaglu. He's got a lovely long distance shot on. He's Turkish, isn't he? Got a cracking free kick on him, and it's a cracking goal. Oh, he couldn't have hit it any better. An absolute stormer. And the AC Milan fans go wild. And yes, 2-1. Cracking goal. Sorry, 2-1 on aggregate. 1-0 on the night. And it sets it up lovely now. I mean, they need another one because it's 2-0 obviously from the first leg. But good stuff. I'll tell you what I've just thought as well. I don't know why I've only just thought this. We'll go back to that in a moment. He is playing Mkhitaryan. I've not noticed him do anything. We've spoken about Kessie, haven't we? And he likes Manchester United. And good save Donnarumma there. Arsenal have gone up a level now. But not seen anything of Mkhitaryan tonight. Could be a cracking game, this one. Bet you're glad you watched it now. Kalinaglu with the goal. They're giving a penalty to Arsenal as well. What a soft, soft penalty. Ah. It's the assistant who gives it. That's such a shame. Such a shame. Such a shame. Dive by Welbeck. Such a dive. Disgraceful. What a dive. What are we thinking, everybody at home? I had to wait to see it, but that is disgraceful from Welbeck. Scum. And he's taking the penalty as well. If there's any justice, he'll miss, but he won't miss, will he? Shocking. Give him the Oscar, says DDG. Donnarumma versus Welbeck. Such a shame as well, because AC Milan's goal was so good to get them back in the game, and then Arsenal just cheat to get ahead. I hope somebody knocks this lot out. I'd bloody love it if they missed. He scores. And the thing is, though, the brilliant thing about that penalty is that those linesmen they have on the... Well, they're not the linesmen, they're the third officials who stand there. They never give anything. They never give anything. They are blind to anything. And then a dive happens in front of him and he gives a bloody penalty. It's not a penalty anyway. It's just nothing to do with it. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. 1-1. So AC Milan get ahead deservedly. Welbeck dives and lucky Arsenal get back to 1-1. Oh, shocking. Absolutely shocking dive. And the reality is, if the referee gives it, you can understand. But it's right in front of the official. Look, he's looking right at it. What a joke. What a joke. Bloody Pep Guardiola's brother, isn't it? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I hope AC Milan get back in this now. Shocking. Shocking. I hate Arsenal, don't you? Awkward position. Tom Daly would have been proud of that. Sally Devlin. I think the thing for me is that the fourth official, or whatever they call them, and it's a penalty there. That should be a penalty. It's hitting right on the arm. Oh, God. Injustice for AC Milan here. They need to keep their heads. Official's terrible. Absolutely terrible. But the thing is that official is looking right at it and gives it. They've been robbed. Absolutely robbed. It's a good match though. It's a good match. I'm enjoying it. Come on, Milan. I don't normally care. I wouldn't normally care in a game like this, but I like the Italian football. I like the Italian football, and I don't like Arsenal. I'm not one of them fans who wants English clubs to do well. All I care about is United. I'm not bothered about any other English club, unless it's somebody neutral like a Spurs or a Leicester. I ain't bothered about. I can't be dealing with rivals, Arsenal or Liverpool or City or Chelsea. I don't want any of them to do well. Well, he didn't even trip over himself, Anthony. He it's not even a penalty. It's just not a penalty. Take it Aubameyang's injured anyway. I don't follow Arsenal, so obviously I don't know, but the injustice is it was such a good goal from AC Milan, and they've worked for that, and it was such a good hit, and then Arsenal just cheat their way to get back to 1-1. Shane O'Kelly, 1-1. Cracking goal by AC Milan, and within 2 minutes, Welbeck dives, and they get a goal. AC Milan need to get another 2 now because it's 3-1 on aggregate. But if they did get 2, they go through because they've got 3 away goals. So you never know. Aubameyang's cup tied. No, he's not cup tied. Can't be cup tied. They didn't play in. He's only done what Mkhitaryan did. He's not played in the Europa League. Aubameyang. Mkhitaryan played in the Champions League for United and is able to play in the Europa League, like Sanchez could play in the Champions League because he played the other way. So Aubameyang isn't cup tied because he played in the Champions League, so he can play in the Europa League. He's not cup tied. So many people are saying he's cup tied. He's not cup tied. How can he be cup tied? He didn't play in the Europa League. He played in the Champions League. Corner to AC Milan. Cutrone just blocked by Xhaka. So I just cheating really annoys me. It was going to be I thought it was going to be a good game. Kieran, Dortmund haven't played in the Europa League. He played in the Champions League. He played against Spurs, didn't they? He's not cup tied. Oh! Offside. They nearly scored again. He didn't play Europa League with Dortmund. If he's cup tied, well, I did see a comment there. Somebody said that they'd registered him. Max says he's cup tied because Dortmund are now in the Europa League. Yeah, but oh right, I'm trying. Yeah, okay. So Mkhitaryan played in the Champions League with Manchester United, but is able to play in the Europa League because Manchester United didn't drop down into the Europa League, is what you're saying, right? Okay, yeah, because he hasn't played in the Europa League for Dortmund because he played in the Champions League before Christmas, and then the Europa League didn't start again till February. So it doesn't make any sense why Mkhitaryan can play and Aubameyang can't, because they've had exactly the same situation, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? But maybe it's because of that. It's a stupid rule. It is a stupid rule, Alex, because if Mkhitaryan can play, then so should Aubameyang, because Aubameyang's not played in the Europa League. Well, it makes Arsenal's job a lot harder, doesn't it? Mkhitaryan's just headed wide from a Welbeck. Cut back. He'll go to the World. Guarantee Welbeck will go to the World Cup. Absolute crap. He's in the squad, isn't he? Yeah, I'm with you, Daniel. I think Daniel Rollin. I think Aubameyang should have been able to play, to be fair. Although Arsenal fans are probably very happy that he didn't, because it's Welbeck who's playing instead of him, and it's Welbeck who dived. Poor defending by AC Milan here. Cut back, blocked by Kessie. We don't want another Arsenal goal or it's game over. Basically, it's going to be half time in about 50 seconds, and the game is pretty much as it started. AC Milan need 2 goals. What a save by Welbeck from Wiltshire by Donnarumma. From distance, he hit it from about 25 yards. I don't know whether he made a meal of it or not. I'm waiting to watch it again. Donnarumma, brilliant save, says Matthew McFadden. Donnarumma could be De Gea's replacement. It's a good save. Massive keeper. I think he's about 6'5". So he apparently signed a new contract with AC Milan last summer, but having refused to do it. But then I don't think he has signed a contract now. He is Mini Riola's client, Donnarumma, and for me, I think he'll be the next Buffon. So will he leave Italy is the big thing about him. But obviously, Buffon's about to retire, and Donnarumma will be the next Buffon. So does the next Buffon end up leaving Italy? I don't know. Date of last contract. See, they say his contract is till 2021, but I didn't think he'd signed it. Which would make it difficult to get hold of him. But let's have a look if there's any news on Donnarumma. So it's half time at the moment. Gattuso furious with the referee, quite rightly so. Really, really unfortunate. Cheating from Arsenal. But the officials should see that. They're paid money to do that, and it's staring right at it. Donnarumma to PSG is the latest rumour. Yeah, but there's a lot of rumours about him leaving in the summer, Donnarumma. It's sad seeing AC Milan on the decline, says Alexander. They're not really on the decline. I think they're on the way back, to be fair. They've been on the decline longer than that. I think they are on the way back. But they spent a lot of money in the summer, and they should have had a better season than they've had. Lots of people watching. Please do subscribe if you're new. We're getting close to that 24,300. We're only 19 short. So if you are new, remember subscribe and click your notifications. Get the bell on. We've got daily content. And we will be live tomorrow at 11 AM with the Champions League draw. How I was planning on doing that on the United stand. And now it will be on That's Football. So... but yeah, we'll be live for the Champions League draw tomorrow at 11. So make sure you've subscribed. You've got your notifications on and you can join us for that. And we will be covering the Champions League. I'm just going to have a quick check actually. Champions League, how they do it. Because the one thing I enjoy about the Champions League is the is being able to watch as many games as possible. And I don't know whether they are... don't want to go on that page. Okay, let's have a look. So, you've got quarterfinals on the 3rd and 4th and 10th and 11th of April. Which means that 2 games will be on at the same time. That's annoying. That's annoying. I was hoping that all 4, you could watch all 4 quarterfinals, but 2 will clash. Maybe me and Xander will have to simultaneously stream or something like that. So you could have Real Madrid, Barcelona and Liverpool, Man City on the same night at the same time, which would be highly irritating. It annoys me, that does. And I think that's why next season they're going to change the kickoff times in the Champions League. So there's an earlier evening one and a later evening one. I'm not so bothered about this round of games or the group games, but for the quarterfinals, all four should be different times, because you're going to have to choose one of your quarterfinals, aren't you? Danny Welbeck Scum says Abbas, and yes, Milan says Danilo. We having a party, Mark? Yeah, I went on a website and you know how they put them adverts up. I didn't realise. Is Flex in the house? Says Sally Devil Red 7, and Arsenal are cheaters, says Abbas, and that's what I was looking at actually as well. BBC. Let's have a look at so in the quarter. It's not the quarterfinals. It's the last. Oh, it is the quarter. Yeah, they've had an extra round in the Europa League, haven't they? So the next bit of the Europa League will be the quarterfinals, and in the quarterfinals of the Europa League, you've got Atletico Madrid, Marseille, Lazio, Victoria Plzen, who everyone will want to play, RP Leipzig, looking like Arsenal, looking like, well, it's half time between Lyon and CSKA Moscow. It was 1-1 in the first leg, and Moscow are winning 1-0 now, and they're away. So it's looking like Moscow. Salzburg and Dortmund, RP Salzburg and Dortmund. Surprisingly, Dortmund are looking like they're going out at the moment because they're 2-1 down from the first leg, and that was at home they lost. So Dortmund need to score twice in the second half while they're going out. So if Arsenal get through this tie, their big threat is probably going to be Atletico Madrid. They fancy their chances against most of the others, I think. But Atletico Madrid should batter them, because I think, can Costa play in the? Can Costa play? Let's have a look. I'm not sure he can. He wasn't on the bench. Maybe they rested him. They played a lot of reserve players for it. I don't know. I don't think Arsenal will beat Atletico Madrid, if I'm honest, but we'll see. Mark, what is Ancelotti's style of play, and how hard would it be for Sir Alex to come back for a season or two? You know what, Summerjet? I actually thought the same thing yesterday at some point. Could we get Sir Alex back? But he's well into his 70s now. I don't he never probably should have. He probably wouldn't have wanted to retire when he did, but he did it for family reasons. He did it for his wife. He'd be too old to come back now. He'd be too old to come back and do it now. Ancelotti, his style of play is okay. It's more attacking than Mourinho, but the thing about Ancelotti is he doesn't use youth at all. So you got good and bad with that. If Milan score against Arsenal, Arsenal will lose, says Puma81. Yeah, well, that penalty is massive for Arsenal, I've got to be honest. But AC Milan could get back into it. Hopefully they will. Saturday, Manchester United versus Brighton. Can't wait, says Salim Hussein. Yeah, it's a 7:45 kickoff on Saturday night. Man United Brighton. I'm not a big fan of 8 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday night. I've got to be honest. Saturday nights are sacrilege, aren't they? They should be kept back for going out or watching a film or something like that. But crack! I'm just watching the Milan goal there again. Brilliant finish, and it deserved better. And Karen, Diego Costa can play because Chelsea are not in the Europa League, so that would make sense. We've got an Italian fan as well, Forza Mila, David Canizaro Penza alla tua Inda. I think he's on about the penalty. In fact, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Google Translate and we can all see what he said. Bam bam recano. No. Well, it's obviously not Italian because it's not translated it. God knows what it was then. Google's. I've assumed because it's AC Milan, he's speaking in Italian. Clearly not. The score is 2-1. Sorry, it's 1-1. Milan went ahead, lovely, and then penalty to AC Milan, which was a bloody joke. And I tell you what, I'd love Roy Keane to come in as Mourinho's assistant. He'd kick some ass. Thanks, Simon. And Daniel Rowland, the game is at 4:45 PM, not Saturday night. It's not. It's on 7:45 kickoff in the UK. Definitely. Oh, my bloody computer does my tits, sometimes. It really does. It just goes off doing what it wants to do, not what I want it to do. Yeah, definitely Saturday night for United in the FA Cup, so it is. 7:45, Manchester United versus Brighton. Fixtures at weekends, you've got Liverpool in the league, Watford at 5:30. You got United at 7:45, Swansea, Tottenham at 12:15, and then on Sunday, Wigan should have been Man City, Southampton, and Leicester, Chelsea at 4:30. I think it's looking like a Spurs United final. I do. I don't know what you think, but that's what I think. Keep an eye on it. Drop us a sub if you're new. Subscribe. We're only 5 away from 24,300, which would be nice to hit tonight. Bottom right hand corner. Get your notifications on. We are doing the Champions League draw at 11 o'clock tomorrow as well. Double-edged sword really. Looking forward to the draw. Looking forward to seeing what big teams are going to get each other. But absolutely gutted that Manchester United aren't going to be in it. Deadly says, I hope Welbeck breaks his leg and misses the rest of the season in the World Cup. We don't wish injury on anybody. He will get injured though. He is very injury prone at Arsenal. And Faison Abbas says AC Milan will still win this 3 away goals. Mark my words. I hope so. I think it's poised to. I think it still can be a good second half. It's poised nicely. It would have been even better if Arsenal had cheated their way to a penalty. Wenger needs to save his legacy and walk away in the summer already. What would you do if United go out the FA Cup on Saturday? Says Kieran Holmesome. I'll tell you what. I'll keep that back because I'm doing the live preview on the United stand, and I'm gonna shout you out, Kieran, on the United stand tomorrow at 1 o'clock because it's a good question, and I'm writing it down now so I don't forget on my notes. If United lose, so I'll answer it on the preview tomorrow because it's a very United question and it's a very good question. Wenger won't be sacked, Chris Swindle and Andrew Kay. They won't sack Wenger at Arsenal. If they were ever considering sacking him, he's done more than enough to be sacked in the past. They won't sack Wenger. What they'll do is they'll say to him, go in the summer, and if not, then... I'm just looking at my hair there, right? So when I was having my haircut today, the hairdresser was like, I'll shave you the lining, because then that's always a good idea if you've got a side pine. Yeah, I like that. But then he said, I said I normally have shaved two at the side and the back and sides. And he said, can I just ask something? Why don't you just go 1 to 2 and let it blend in? And I was like, oh yeah, go on then, I'll try that. But I don't like it. And then he said next time we could go 0 and fade it in. Now I've had a fade before. I don't like fade. It's basically skin, hair. But I'm not sure I like the 1 to 2 either. I think I just prefer it all the same. There you go. That's my thoughts on that. But yeah, Wenger won't get sacked from Arsenal. He's been there too long and they respect him too much to do that. He would just be told, we want you to go in the summer. Scott H. Here we go. He's talking about his hair again. And George says it. That dive is why VAR is needed, says Luciano. You say that though. You say that, Luciano. It's a bloody good point. But I tell you what if they had VAR and they say it is a penalty? Because there is contact there. But the reality is, as he runs past Welbeck, there's no grab, but the arm does connect with Welbeck. And what if they say there's contact, it's a penalty? I mean, we all know with common sense it's not a penalty. There's contact, but he's not deliberately pulled him back or anything like that. But the idiot thing is, you can have VAR and a referee could still... The fourth official who looks at the VAR could say, I'm giving a penalty, there's contact. So, you know, it's not a penalty, but VAR doesn't necessarily stop that either. Apparently I look like Tintin. It's not the first time I've been called that. Oh no! I'm gonna ask you something now. I'm gonna ask you something. Let me just read that. Let me read that. Okay, coming back. So Instagram's quite a big thing at the moment, isn't it? Instagram. Let's talk about Instagram for a little bit. Don't really understand what Instagram's all about, but we have got a United Stand Instagram. I think it's called @the United Stand TV, something like that, because a couple of prats basically set up Instagram accounts at United Stand, which they've got every right to do. If you don't get onto something quick, someone's going to take your bloody name, aren't they? So that, you know, at United Stand is not us. I think they pretended to be us for a bit and then got bored, and then they won't give us it. So we're called, I think we're called @the United Stand TV or something. But I'm thinking about going on Instagram myself, because one thing I do like the thought of doing is I obviously want to do my own channel, Mark Goldbridge, which is I'm going to build out more this year. But I thought during the day when I'm doing stuff, I could just take pictures like I'm going to Tesco and stuff like that. Is that the sort of thing that Instagram's better for than actually the official channel? Are people more interested in what the person's getting up to? Is my question. You will be shouting out a Liverpool fan tomorrow, and as I'm a Liverpool fan, says Kieran, I'm not bothered, mate. I don't mind. I'm not really petty. The one thing I said yesterday when I was doing the United Stand is, look, I'm sure there's a lot of rivals of United taking the mickey out of us after the loss to Sevilla, but I don't really care. That never really bothers me. I have got no time to go over social media and read what bitter rivals are saying about United when they lose embarrassing like that. The only people I'm really interested in is what United fans are saying, and there's more than enough angry people there, so I'm not bothered about this rivalry stuff. It always makes me laugh how people get wound up by what I say. Other clubs, they must spend a lot of time reading what other clubs are saying about them. I don't do that. Well, we could do with a Milan goal. Kieran says, as a Liverpool fan, United Stand is a good show. Yeah, I think the United Stand does get people from other clubs watching, which are it's a free world. Everyone can get involved. But that's what That's Football hopefully will become. Really, is just a show that everybody, no matter who you support, can get involved with. Because I do watch a lot of other football other than United. Cassie just had a shot there, didn't really connect. So I enjoy the sort of interaction and talking with other fans and stuff, and I think a lot of other people do. So that's the idea behind That's Football. It's evenly poised, this game. If Arsenal score again, it's over, isn't it? But if AC Milan score again, you just never know. And AC Milan, I mean, it's common sense. They will want to win this because their league season is sort of finished. They're trying to get into the Champions League, but it's going to be a tough run for them. But Europa League is another way into the Champions League for them as well. It's 1-1 in this game, 3-1 on aggregates. Carlos, I think you've been drinking too much. Carlos Hernandez says, what if Arsenal and Manchester United sack their managers at the same time and Wenger goes to United? No chance. Zero chance. It's 1-1 at the moment. Blishard Cushing. 3-1 on aggregate. So Milan need 2 goals. Who do you think Liverpool will get in the Champions League, Kieran? I think you'll get Roma. I think you'll get Roma, and I think City will get Sevilla. And I think Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus, and Bayern will get each other, which would be a great draw for the English clubs. I hope Liverpool gets Real Madrid, and I hope Man City get Barcelona, or Bayern Munich. I think Liverpool and City can beat Roma, Sevilla, and Juventus. Pochettino or Ancelotti, says Blishard Cushing. I would go with Pochettino. I do like Ancelotti though. I've got to be honest though, I did want Ancelotti when Van Gaal, I first became Van Gaal out at the Christmas before he went, and Mourinho had literally just been sacked by Chelsea then, and I don't think anybody thought there was a possibility of Mourinho coming. And I wanted Ancelotti, but he went to... did he go PSG at that point? Or did he go Bayern? I think he went Bayern, didn't he? Because he got the sack from Bayern because PSG beat them. But now, if it was between Pochettino and Ancelotti, I think I would go... It'd be very tough. The thing about Ancelotti is he doesn't play the youth. And Pochettino, I think, prides himself on that. The thing about Pochettino is he's not a winner, but any regrets losing Mkhitaryan, says Basil? No, not at all. I think this is his level. Jordan Dodd's going to start firing pellets at the dead pigeon in his back garden, apparently. Andy Lovell makes a good point. Spurs beat Madrid, so City could. Look, yeah, you know what? Man City could play Barcelona and Madrid and beat them. And if they do, you better hope Bayern Munich are good, because otherwise City are going to win the Champions League. Neo says, which team is your second favourite? Not one you necessarily care if they win or lose, just a team that you like the history football of. Juventus. I've always liked Juventus. I really like Italian football, because when I was growing up, I was a young kid when Italia 90 was on, and then Channel 4 got hold of Serie A TV rights, and they used to have Saturday morning they'd have highlights of the week, which was really good with James Richardson, and then on a Sunday they'd have a Serie A game, and this was a time in the early 90s where it's not like now. You're totally spoilt now. You didn't used to get wall-to-wall football. There'd be a game on a Sunday afternoon from the top league, and then you'd have Serie A as well, and then if there was European football, you'd get that midweek. That was it. You hardly got any top-level football. So I've always liked Italian football, and I've always liked Juventus, because there's a story about Juventus. I'm from Nottingham, and there's a story about Juventus's kit is based on Notts County, who are the oldest English League club, and they lent Juventus a kit in a friendly which is black and white, which is what Notts County wear, and Juventus wear it. Also, my stepdad's Italian as well, and he likes them. So yeah, I like Juventus. They're my second team, but I don't think they've got any chance. I wanted them to beat Real Madrid last year, but I don't think they've got any chance at all. I think Spurs was so naive for that 20 minutes that lets Juventus back in, but that's the brilliance of typical Italian performance. You know, they've got very good players, but they don't necessarily play expressive football. Go on, Milan. Oh, just wide. Shoots wide. Still early days, still time. Reggie 2429 can I have a shout out. Yes, pal. Guitar Man says, I've got 2 DVDs, Serie A 88-89 and 89-90. Makes me appreciate Italian football. I'll tell you what I must watch, I haven't watched it for a while, is United's triple winning season. I've got the DVD. It's about 2 hours long, all the games. Love it. I just love those. It's just having time to watch it, isn't it? Andrew Kidd, shout out. Andrew Ellis, he's on the United stand a lot, Mr. Anti-Mourinho from the very start. He says, the style of football Arsenal is playing is eye-catching, and Mkhitaryan is playing well because he's free to express himself. Oh, I'll tell you what, mate, I don't think Arsenal's football's bad, but all I would come back with you is that Milan should probably be winning this game. So, you know, I suppose my Mourinho head would be, well, yeah, Arsenal are playing good football, but they should be losing this game. So, you know, do you want attacking football and losing, or do you want pragmatic football and winning? And the reality is, what you want is neither person's right. You want what someone like Man City or Spurs do, where defensively they're good, but they play attacking football. Arsenal can play good football. Arsenal have played good football pretty much constantly through Wenger's reign. They just can't defend. You know, they're like a chocolate fireguard. Go on then, let's get that going. Chris Windle says Carlo Ancelotti. If it was between Ancelotti and Pochettino, who would you take as manager at Manchester United? I think it's a very, very tough one. I think I would go Pochettino. I'd be happy with either. But I'm not Mourinho out anyway. Reggie, it's 1-1. It could be 2-1 to Arsenal in a minute. This is a good chance. Over the bar. I thought Aaron Ramsey was injured. He's in the Wales squad. He's not in the Wales squad, is he? On FIFA, this is a penalty to Arsenal. So Arsenal break away. There's a cutback to Ramsey on the edge of the box. He hits it, and after he's hit it, he's fouled. Now remember in FIFA, that's a penalty. If you've ever played FIFA, that's a penalty. So he's hit the shot, but after the shot, the tackle comes in and fouls him. That is a foul. That is a penalty on FIFA. I don't know in real life whether that should be a penalty or not. But I remember they always used to get given on FIFA. Blizzard Crushing says Ancelotti in, Jose out. Shiva says Arsenal are going to win today. Andrew K says, I'd go Carlo Ancelotti simply because he gets more titles than Pochettino at the moment. Pochettino has a better squad than us this season and arguably the last few years and have won sod all, and Jose doesn't play the youth anyway. Andrew Ellis likes Tuchel and the Monaco coach. And I am going to. We are doing the Champions League draw live on here tomorrow. Dig 125, even though United aren't in it, because obviously that's football's not about United, is it? So I am interested in the draw tomorrow. I've got a horrible feeling it's going to be, from a United point of view, quite irritating, because I think City will get. City got a bye anyway, didn't they? Basel, although actually United might have lost to Basel, so we can't say that. But I suspect City will get an easier draw. I want Liverpool and City to get the hardest. In fact, I would like Liverpool to get City. That would be nice. Eric Engelberg says, rumours today that Zlatan injury is fake and that he doesn't like Jose Mourinho anymore. Imagine. That's a penalty! Oh, he doesn't give it to AC Milan though, does he? I don't know whether it was. Bellerin. Yeah, it's a penalty. Blatant penalty. He just barges into him. It's more than the one on Welbeck. Shocking. Absolute shocking. It's a bad ref. It's a bad ref. They're getting robbed, says John Sherrell. Yeah, that was more of a penalty than Welbeck's. Although I've got to be fair to Arsenal. I don't want to be. I thought that... go on. Good skills, that. What are you doing? Oh, he should have scored. He should have scored. I don't know who it is. Gattuso's going mad. What a chance. Really good build-up play. Finds the Milan player. Oh, to be fair, he's had to get up on the volley. It's a bit of a technique. Penalty box on the volley. Shins it wide. Milan have had the better chances in the second half. I've had a contribution from Danny Dobson. I would love if Liverpool got City in the quarters of the Champions League. Yeah, I would, because one of them go out, doesn't it? I'll tell you what though, I would love Liverpool to get Man City, because I thought actually, from a neutral's point of view, one of them's going out, and also it was a good game. As much as I dislike both clubs, I have watched both times they've played each other this season. Liverpool annihilated Man City at Anfield, and then their defence nearly let them back in. Was it 4-3? And then the game back in October or September, Liverpool were actually on top, and Mane gets sent off, and then obviously they got battered. So they won't get each other. I think it will be set up that they don't. But I'm very well, AED Screamers. How are you? Free kick on the edge of the box and a yellow card to Arsenal here. Oh no, he's booked in for diving. He has got to be the worst referee I've ever seen. This referee is shocking. He's bad, isn't he? It's not just me. He really is a bad referee. Gives absolutely everything to Arsenal. Viking Red said, do you think Mourinho's making a point to the board? Look at the state of the midfield, never been rectified since Moyes or Van Gaal. No, I don't. Thanks for subscribing, GT9. I don't think he's making a point because Mourinho's been here long enough, and actually he's signed. How many midfielders has he signed? 2? Matic, Pogba. Milan needs a great striker, says Didge. Well, they spent a lot of money on Silva. Andrew K. Bonucci, why did he go to AC Milan other than a homecoming? I've got to be honest with you though, Andrew. When AC Milan were buying all these players in the summer, I was getting really excited because I do watch Italian football, as I must have said a million times, but obviously we might have new people. And I got quite excited by the fact that Inter Milan were getting a bit of money and AC Milan were getting a bit of money because they've not really been on the radar for a few years, and it is the most competitive league in the Premier League in Europe this year. The Italian league, it's really good. But I did expect AC Milan to be up there. I thought that I probably would have, if I was having a bet, I would have said AC Milan will win Serie A, but they've just been nowhere near. Sacked their manager, Gattuso's come in, but he threw the ball at Monreal's face. George. The thing about Arsenal as well, though, from an Arsenal point of view, is their season is over, isn't it? If they go out the Europa League, which they don't look like they're going to at the moment, their season is over. Because they're out the FA Cup, they lost the League Cup, and I can't see them getting anywhere near 4th place. So their season would be really over. Darth Drake, I think Gattuso's doing really well. He is doing really well. They have started winning a lot of games. They're sort of chasing down a Champions League spot after a really, really bad start to the season. Mark Bolton, I do agree with that. I never wanted Matic, and I had so much stick about it. Oh, Matic is all right, but people don't really understand. I wanted Fabinho when we got Matic, and Matic has been okay for United. In fact, he's been good at times. But my issue always with Matic is he's slow. I didn't want a slow midfielder, and yeah, he's had good games, but he's still slow, and he still moves the ball slowly. I wanted somebody with a bit more pace about the midfield, because our midfield, as we've seen so many times, is so slow. And but Mourinho seems to want that slow, sort of static midfield. Jared Pesserman, I made both those bets. What bets? I know what AC Milan to win the title in Serie A. I can't remember what the second one was. 27 minutes are left. Yes, Andrew Kidd, they are. And it's a shame that dive, and dives do happen, of course they do. But that dive has basically sorted Arsenal out, hasn't it? Karan, where do I think AC Milan and Inter will get back to the top? I don't know. I think it's Serie A is becoming a bit like the Premier League was before Man City have done what they've done. I mean, Man City could dominate for years, but the Premier League's always been the best because it's very, very competitive, and it is apart from Man City. But I quite like where Serie A may go over the next couple of years because I think it will be very competitive. Having said that, it looks like Juventus are going to win the title again because Napoli have. If you watch Serie A, then we did the watch-along on here, didn't we? It was Juventus Lazio. That should have been 0-0. Juventus didn't deserve to win that, but then they did because they get the goal from Dybala right at the end, and that's basically probably handed them the title because Napoli have just suddenly lost a couple of games and Juventus have won a couple. So, but no, I hope it is competitive because that's not. Another good chance for Milan, headed straight at the keeper that time. They've had all the chances, absolutely dominated him. This second half. What a chance, Salim. Headed it straight at the keeper. Stevie Mondo. Mourinho loves slow, tall players, and if they got a bird's nest on their head, he loves them even more. Andrew Kay's right as well. Milan and Inter Milan have both got Asian investments and a lot of money. The only other club who can compete with them is Juventus. There's not a lot of money in the Italian game. Like Lazio, they've got no bloody money. And they're doing quite well, but they will definitely move Milankovic-Savic on. I reckon Belotti will go to one of the big clubs in Italy this year as well. For similar reasons. The trouble is that, despite them needing the money, they hold out for massive fees, and Lyon are going out. Let's have a quick look at the other scores actually in the Europa League because there are a few games tonight. Looks like Dortmund are going to go out. They are 0-0 with 20 minutes to go. They need 2 goals like AC Milan. Lyon are going out. They're 3-1 down to CSKA Moscow, who dropped down from the Champions League. I think United played them, didn't we? Memphis Depay playing. He's gone off. French league's not good though, really. I was very surprised that Marseille beat Atletico Bilbao actually. When's the Europa League draw? Does anyone know? Not that I care. Alec Dukas, I bet Bonucci regrets leaving. He probably doesn't. He's probably on way more money than he was on at Juventus, to be honest. Yeah, Belotti's not been good this season. I mean, I would have took him at United last summer, to be honest, but he's not been good this season, although he has had injuries. Zed Jamie, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid final. If they avoid each other. I mean, I've got to be honest, as a United fan, this Europa League is a lot harder to win than the one we won. I mean, there was nobody really in ours, was there? I can't remember of any use. I mean, Ajax in the final, but there wasn't this much quality in it. And certainly the year Liverpool got to the final, there was some bloody good teams in it. Oh no, mistake by Donnarumma. 3-1. Well, we might get him on the cheap now. Xhaka scores it. Hits it from distance. Just jammy. He hits it from distance and Donnarumma just makes a massive mistake. Oh, it's a goalkeeping error. He's made a right pig's ear of that. It's a simple save. He's diving to it and with his bottom hand, it's hit the bottom of his hand and bounced off into the goal. Shocking. Not deserved. AC Milan have been better in the second half, but they've blown this tie really in the first leg. That's what they did. Poor goalkeeping, Kieran. You're right. Showing his age, I guess. I suppose as Darth Drake. Obviously, a lot of people would say, "Well, that's why we don't want him at United." But I'm with Curtis. Totally undeserved. Sion Williams. I don't want Donnarumma now. It's like a young De Gea. Yeah, he's a good goalkeeper. He's a good goalkeeper. But what I would say is, United aren't going to get Griezmann because he's going to go to Barcelona. So I would rather we went for Oblak. And to be honest, when you look at Mourinho, if De Gea goes, of course, but I don't want De Gea to go. But as I was saying this afternoon on the United stand, if he did go, I wouldn't blame him because he's been brilliant for us. And, you know, it must be on his mind. I'm Spanish. I'm from Madrid. If I go to Real Madrid, I could be winning trophies, big trophies. I've been at United for 4 or 5 years now, and we're nowhere near the Champions League or the title. You know, effectively, he's wasting his career, isn't he? If you're harsh. So if De Gea goes, I think I would go Oblak over Donnarumma. I'd be happy with either. Either's a step down, but the thing is, Mourinho always goes with experience, doesn't he? We're linked with Willian, who's 29. He doesn't like the younger player, and I'd rather get Pulisic, but he ain't going to go for an 18-year-old, is he? Yeah, he's still young. A lot of people saying that he's still very young for a keeper. Yeah, and the kid at Benfica made the same mistake, doesn't he? Apparently Oblak's got an 80 million release clause. Yeah, we don't want to be spending that. The reality is, though, what you'd do is, if you had to spend the same amount of money on, you know, De Gea would go for a certain fee, wouldn't he? I presume Lacazette is. I think Lacazette's injured anyway, isn't he? But I presume he'd be cup tied as well. Were Lyon in the Champions League? Well, they're in the Europa League, definitely, aren't they? Well, not for long. I don't think Arsenal will win the Europa League, though. I don't think they're good enough. I mean, it just depends on the standard of everybody else, but I've seen a lot of Atletico Madrid this year, and Atletico Madrid the thing about Atletico Madrid is they won't be defensively as naive as AC Milan, and on the attack, I can't see Arsenal beating Atletico Madrid. I mean, anything can happen, but I can't see it. And as Mark Bolton says, if De Gea goes, you've got to be asking for 100 million or a player plus cash. And to be honest, I never really felt that Manchester United could do any deals with Real Madrid because you'd have to let De Gea go. But I don't think we're in a position to keep De Gea if he wants to go anymore. I think he's been more than a servant for us, and you know, it's a bit like if Man City win the Champions League, I'll be gutted. But actually, it's only our own fault if we can't even get through to if we can't knock them out. Then why should anybody else? I'd like to see Lazio versus Arsenal. Milankovic-Savic would be good. (4-1) on aggregate does flatter Arsenal, I've got to be honest. I heard somebody say today, would you take Jack Wilshere on a free to Manchester United this summer? No, I wouldn't. I can't stand the lad. Can't stand him. And also, I don't think he'd leave Arsenal for Manchester United. Not been massively impressed by Kessie, but he's not really that sort of a player. I wouldn't say I don't want him at United. I like the fact that he's got a lot of energy in the midfield. Sad, isn't it? Another header there, flipped over, but it would have been an own goal anyway. They're bad up front, AC Milan, a bit like Sevilla. Well, he says that now, but you know what? Sevilla had a lot of chances. Donald Parker, which teams do you want to be in the Champions League final? You know what I'd bloody love? I'd love to see I'd love to see a Real Madrid Barcelona final. I really would, because it's never happened. But see, this is a corner for AC Milan. He's not giving it, and Boldy's looking straight at it again. Ugh. That bold official is looking straight at it as it deflects off an Arsenal player, and it's been given as a goal kick. The refs have been shite tonight, absolute shite. It pisses me off, to be honest, and I've sworn twice in there. Chrisia Prince, as football fan, Europa League is interesting. I've never really watched much of the Europa League, but I think it isn't. You know, I watched it a lot last year, obviously, but this is a decent one. It is interesting, and I think because it's World Cup year as well, you do want to watch as much as you can, so that when the World Cup comes up, you know a lot about a lot of different players. So I'm gutted that Italy aren't in the World Cup, and Holland, and Chile. I think it's such a shame. That was good by Kessie. See, he knows he's not done enough for me tonight. So we'll be live on That's Football tomorrow at 11 o'clock for the Champions League draw, and tomorrow at 1 o'clock on the United Stand I am doing the what am I doing? Oh, the preview for the Brighton game, and then I'm doing the 8 o'clock show tomorrow night on the United Stand as well. So that's your next 3 shows, and then Saturday obviously we've got the Brighton game. Matt Burnham, come on you Gunners. I think Wenger needed to get through this tie, didn't he, to be honest. Lyon and Moscow is really interesting now. I don't think it is, because if it goes to... Now I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, it's 3-3 on aggregate now. Yeah, it is interesting. So Moscow are going through on away goals at the moment. If Lyon get another, Moscow are out. Still 12 minutes to go. Dortmund are going out, and obviously we know Milan are going to be going out in this game, but there are going to be World Cup watch-alongs. That's, to be honest, that's in hindsight, that was why we sort of started doing That's Football, because we were thinking about the World Cup, and I'm somebody who will watch a lot of the World Cup games. I really do get into the World Cup, and I didn't really fancy watching Slovenia, whoever else, on my own, so yeah, that was the idea. But we're going to cover as many of the Champions League games as we can from now on, and we'll probably do some of the Europa League games as well, dependent on the draw. Scooby-Doo thinks Arsenal are going to win the Europa League. I don't. You know why I don't think they're going to win it? Because they're rubbish at the back. I'd be worried about how long Koscielny's out injured for. Aubameyang and Lacazette can't play. So you're toothless up front. You've sold Giroud. You're reliant on Welbeck. And if Welbeck gets injured, who plays up front for Arsenal? Guitar Man 96. How would I feel if England boycott the World Cup? I'd be ecstatic. It'd be the best result. That's the best we can hope for, because otherwise we're just going to get absolutely embarrassed. Thomas Williams, Atletico Madrid will win it. Yeah, I think Atletico Madrid will win it. The thing is, it's what I think Arsenal's best chance is if they get an easy draw in the next round and Atletico Madrid get one of the better teams, whether it's Lazio or RP Leipzig or someone like that, and they knock Madrid out. I think if Arsenal play Madrid, they'll get beat, but somebody else might do them a favour. But if you look at where Arsenal, and I'm not digging Arsenal out particularly. I wanted Milan to win because I like Italian football. But if you look at where Arsenal are in the league, they're sixth and they deserve to be sixth. So if you put Arsenal against one of these teams in Europe that are decent, they'll beat them. Andrew Kidd thinks Lazio will win it. I'd love Lazio to win it. I'd love one of the Italian clubs to win it. I think Napoli were in this, weren't they? And they got knocked out in the last round, which surprised me. But another Italian club bites the dust. But I would love Lazio to win it. Fantastic support from the Milan fans. Arsenal grounds virtually emptied out. They're all running to queue up for Arsenal Fan TV. Neo says, who's your dark horse for the World Cup? Belgium don't count. Belgium won't win it because they're managed by Martinez, and I think Belgium are a bit like Spurs. No backbone. Bottlers. And he says Senegal. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know enough about the African teams. I mean, remember Pele coming out with that comment about 30 years ago that an African team will win the World Cup before 2020 or something like that. I think he said by the millennium, actually. I think they're further away than they've ever been from what I've seen. I remember that Ivory Coast team with Torres and Kalou and Drogba, and they just never looked like they were going to win it. 2-1 is the score, STH to Arsenal, so 4-1 on aggregate. Totally and utterly undeserved from Arsenal, to be fair. Milan, dodgy penalty, got Arsenal back in it when Milan were 1-0 up, and the refereeing's been poor, and AC Milan have been very wasteful in front of goal. Australia, they're forever the underdog, says Bradley Davidson. Andrew K, good point. Napoli weren't keen on all those Thursday nights with such a close Serie A title race. Yeah, you know what? You can't do your league and Europa League. I said this about United last year, was proved right, and Arsenal will have to give up on the league as well and really just go all out for the Europa League. You can't do it. You can't do it. And everyone always comes back with the same argument. Yeah, but it's no difference between the Champions League and the Europa League. Well, there is, because Champions League you could play on a Tuesday and not play again till Sunday or Saturday, or you could play Wednesday and not play till Sunday. Whereas Europa League, you're always Thursday, Sunday, which is basically 2.5 days rest. It's impossible. You can't do it. I'm not picking my nose. It's got a right itch inside it. Prajit says Germany or Spain are favourites. I think Brazil might win it. Well, that's Welbeck scored. It was nearly a good save from Donnarumma. This has flattered Arsenal tonight. 3-1. Really has flattered them. (3-1-6). There's always a positive. Wenger stays in charge for longer. France will win it. It's its 100th J. I think the problem with France is they're managed by Deschamps, who is a bit like Mourinho. Germany are a good bet. Spain, I just don't fancy Spain anymore. I haven't for a few years. And who else? Brazil are always a mixed bag. Brazil or Germany is what I'd go with. Argentina, you'd be very surprised if Argentina won it. You know what I was saying before, though? It's like, you know, United lost to Sevilla and United fans were, you know, unhappy. But there was no real... I didn't see anyone go absolutely ballistic about it because it's just a different mentality. But as I was saying, you know, you can imagine if Arsenal get knocked out by Atletico Madrid, you'll have people on Arsenal fan TV going absolutely mad. Oh, it's terrible, rubbish, Wenger out. And the reality is Atletico Madrid are way better than them, but they'll still make a big issue of it. The delusion just makes me laugh. You know, not all Arsenal fans, but a lot of Arsenal fans are deluded. I mean, they always used to get tagged with that. You know, if there's a Twitter poll, Arsenal fans will win it because they're just so precious and deluded about what their club is. Arsenal are pulling on the tricks now, though. But yeah, there is a positive. If you don't like Arsenal, there's probably the big positive is that Wenger's probably going to stay. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we are one short of 350. So if you haven't subscribed, bottom right hand corner, please do subscribe. And thanks everyone who has joined us tonight. We will be ending in about 2 minutes when this game ends. But I am back live tomorrow at 11 o'clock for my sins. I'd arranged to do it. Hoping United were going to be in the Champions League draw, but we'll do it on this channel. 11 o'clock Champions League draw. We'll be doing all the Champions League watch-alongs on here anyway, so let's see what games we'll be doing and when they'll be played so we can mark them in our diary. I would like Man City to get Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona or Bayern Munich, and Liverpool to get Man City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid or Barcelona because I want them out. As a Manchester United fan, I want them out, and I think those games would be really good to watch. Thanks for subscribing, John Frusciante. Please do spread the word about That's Football as well. We're quite a new channel, but it is going to be everybody's invited. We will start doing call-ins like we do on the United Stand. The United Stand's our Manchester United fan channel. That's Football's quite new, but it's for everybody. It's for everyone to get involved. We'll always have the live comments. We're going to have daily content on here. We're going to do the World Cup and everything like that. And we are going to start doing call-ins soon as well, which will be great fun. So do spread the word about it and get involved. I'd love City to have Madrid and get absolutely smashed 4-0, says Durrani. I think we're on the same page there. But you know what? If City beat Real Madrid and Barcelona and Bayern Munich, they deserve to win the Champions League, don't they? It'd be hard for people who don't want Man City to do it to take, but it is true. Thanks for subscribing, Shiva. Reggie's off to bed. Yeah, I'm going to go and have a nice bath and watch this week's This Country. Bayern versus Liverpool, please. I've never seen it before, says David De Gea. Yeah, as I said, if I could pick my European Cup final, it would be Real Madrid-Barcelona, I think, because it's just never happened. And I think in a Champions League final, Messi versus Ronaldo, it's not. I don't like the fact that Real Madrid and Barcelona always win the Champions League, but I would like to see Messi, Ronaldo in a Champions League final. I think that would be great. In the other games, let's have a quick look. It's looking like it's going to be, unless Lyon score late on, they're going out and Moscow go through. And, well, Dortmund are out anyway because even if they score, Salzburg got 2 away goals in the first leg. So that is that. I mean, has Salzburg got any good players? Not that you'd know. Not that you'd know. I tell you who might be a good team, and well, they are a good team, and they might knock Arsenal out, and no one's really talking about them. RB Leipzig. They've got Timo Werner, Keita, Forsberg. They ain't bad. They ain't bad at all. Augustine's good as well. Yeah. So when's the draw? I'm gonna end the stream now. But when's the draw for the Europa League? Is that tomorrow as well? Let me know in the live comments. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Back tomorrow at 11 o'clock for the Champions League draw. Join us for that if you can. And thanks everyone for watching tonight. I've enjoyed the chanter. Let's call it the chanter. The banter in the chat. It's been good. That's what football's all about, really. It doesn't matter whether you are involved in the game or you support the club or not. It's just if you like football and you're going to watch a game, you may as well watch it on a watch-along and have a bit of a chat while it's going on. So thanks everybody for watching. Really enjoyed it, and I felt Milan were robbed in that game, but it was lost in the first one. Jared Pessman says Arsenal get an easy draw. Thanks to Kieran Watson for subscribing. So we're back tomorrow at 11 o'clock with the Champions League draw. Let's see what happens with that, and we'll keep an eye out for the Europa League draw as well, because we'll probably be doing watch-alongs of them on a Thursday night. It's midday tomorrow, so we'll keep an eye out for that one as well. Thanks for watching, everybody, and great chanter, says Chris Windle. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow at 11 AM on here. If you've not watched the United Stand today, it was the transfer show, and we've got the preview at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Thanks everyone for watching. Maybe go and watch the transfer show on the United Stand if you're interested in football. I'll plug that as well. The United Stand YouTube channel. But I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for watching.